Morning to you all out there. Sunday, 6:45, just waiting for Andy to turn up. We're heading off down to the coast. End of January, we're going to target place, maybe a bit too early to catch them, but we're going to have a go. They usually turn up sort of February onwards. Apologies for not putting any videos up over the last quite a few weeks, but it's a combination of rubbish weather, rubbish tides, and I sound like a bit of a wuss, don't I? A trapped nerve in my neck. But all okay today. I'll see you down there. Morning to you all out there. Welcome to another one of my videos. I've finally got fishing after quite a few months. But as I mentioned earlier on, a number of things got in my way. But today, beautiful day. Reason we're here is the wind's westerly, but more importantly, the tide's going out. So if we're fishing on the beach, we wouldn't have a lot to fish in. Going to keep it fairly straightforward today. I'm going to fish a very simple pulley with a size 2 hook, load of bling on the end. I've got a manky old bit of black lug on here and tipped off with squid. I've got loads of stuff in the freezer, and it just gets more and more and more, and it seems pretty pointless keeping it all in there and not actually using it. So the plan is to use all the frozen bait and see what we pick up. They've been catching a few plates down here. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. And then on this one, I've got a very simple 2 hook flapper. I've got a squid head on the bottom hook, and I've got manky old bit of black lug, which is gone, you know, when it goes all kind of licorice-y, on the top hook. So we'll bosh these out and see what we get. We don't really need to be casting too far here. So, trap is set. Will we catch any fish? Well, let's hope so. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Martin, who's one of the chaps we normally come down this neck of the woods with, but he's had a knee operation, and he had it a couple of days ago. So he's going to be out of action for quite a few weeks. But he's had the operation. It's all tickety-boo. I've been talking to him and texting him and taking the mickey out of him. So cheers to you, Martin. It's some brave souls who've just been out swimming, and the two at the front, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're doing the swimming hacker. I have regard for people who go out and do difficult or, you know, things that put you out there, and swimming in this time of the year, that certainly puts you out there. So just reeled in, rebaited. A few crabs out there from the little nibbles out of the squid that I've got, but no bites as yet. So new bait on, chucked them back out there again, fingers crossed. If you've been asking how my mother-in-law's getting on, bless her, she obviously is getting quite old and very forgetful and quite annoying, I have to say, but you've got to forgive her really for, you know, her age, and we all get like that. But my wife went away to Poland, and I had mother-in-law duty for the weekend, so the feeding and the doing and the caring and etc, etc. And we were up really, really early to get my wife to the airport, sort of 3:30, and sorted all that out. And then I'm thinking, right, well, I can have a lay-in with the dog on the bed. So literally, I'd got into bed, and I'm laying down, and I'm just thinking, oh, this is brilliant. I can just drift off. I've sorted all the breakfast stuff out downstairs, and I could hear what I thought was help, help. And I thought, oh no. Anyway, I rushed downstairs going, Mary, you okay? And oh yes, I'm fine. But coming out of the wall, we have a speaker with this emergency thing, and there was somebody going, Mrs. Brown, are you okay? Anyway, I answered it and said, yeah, she's fine, she's still alive. And then asked mother-in-law, why was she pressing the emergency thing that she has? Well, I never touched it. It's something wrong with it. It does it a lot. So I said, well, why didn't you answer it? Well, I didn't want to talk to a stranger. I said, but it's not a stranger, it's the thing that helps you. Anyway, I went back upstairs, and yeah, you guessed it, about 7 minutes later, I could hear the ruddy thing downstairs shouting again, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Brown. And I'm hurling downstairs, get to the phone, get to the speaker. Yep, she's fine, she's still alive. Bang on the door. Why are you pressing it? No, I never touched it. That happened 3 more times. In the end, I just got up. Rob, bless him, has just caught this. So you didn't see the bite.
No.
What were you using bait-wise?
That was on rag.
Rag.
Yeah.
And you've just done the fish out unhooking method, haven't you?
Yeah, it should go about. It's extremely thin, so it's obviously spawned out.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good. So Liam was shouting and hollering to use this, which was in its bag and all not. But yeah, that's a beezer of a place, chap. So there's quite a contrast to the weather today. We've had wind, and way off in the distance you can see Beachy Head in the sun, and then coming around here and then looking out over that away, we've got Worthing way off in the distance, Worthing Pier, and then the sun and the grey clouds glinting on the houses. Looks really cool. No, the bait looks like it's just been washed. How ridiculous. Right, let's go out further. Not where that boat's going to be though. Probably not a good idea. Andy has just reeled this out, and we were just packing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Last cast fish, you did it once.
I think. And what did you get that on?
A little tiny bit of rag, and it was a thin little strip of rag.
What is that? Is that a flounder?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
Flounder.
Yeah.
It's got orange spots, but it is a flounder.
Yeah.
It's all
rough on the back. What do you reckon? Second part. I went home last week. It was freezing cold, and it was depressing not catching any fish. So Andy caught fish. Yeah, he's reminding me. This time, week later, back down again. High tide. What time, Andy?
About 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. So we're fishing a better tide. So we're going to fish the tide up and then fish it back out. Wind's northerly. It's calm at the moment. So one of my viewers has literally just messaged me saying, could we give him a step-by-step guide as to what we're using? Now, we're all fishing different distances, different style, different tactic, different baits. But if we give you Rob as an example, who's quite an accomplished angler down here, and yeah, well, you are, fellow. So you're using what? You've got
3-hook clip sheppy rig.
So 3 hook.
3 pulley rigs, more or less.
Right.
In a cascade fashion.
So
okay.
There,
one there, and likewise at the top.
Right. Gotcha.
So when the fish bites, it actually pulls against the lead.
Okay. And what size hooks are you using?
They're 2s.
2s. So when you say cascade, that clips on the
Yeah.
bottom clip.
This one goes on your weight, or if you're using an imp or whatever you use.
Right.
Then the next one clips onto the cascade swivel on there.
Which you don't need to do unless you're trying to cast out a distance. You could just cast them as they are, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just keeps them neat.
And again, that's on a pulley.
Come so.
So they're all clipped down. And what weight are you using? Size?
That's a 5 ounce.
5 ounce. And line on there?
20 pound braid to a 50 pound leader, tapered leader.
Right, okay. Young man.
How you doing? You well?
I'm well.
You much better than last week?
My daughter is very happy that Carla's now turned up. He is the, what do we call you? Fishing totty.
The eye candy.
The eye candy of the pier. Although today, you've let the show down.
Sorry.
Fishing can be contrary. We're getting up to the top of the tide, and between all of us, we've had one whiting, which is an embarrassment. Rob has just had a thumping great bite on here. What is it though? This is now the angling comedy show. This is comedy fishing. Knit one, pearl one. What's he got on here then? Oh. Hey. They've just been taking the mickey out of me. When you go fishing with Paul, you're sure to catch. It is so annoying. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. I want to be stood here going, oh, don't worry. It's nothing to worry. You will catch fish soon when you've caught some. It's like when people are going, oh yeah, well done. No, that's a beautiful fish. When deep down, you're seething.
You sort of kicked in as it come out of the water.
No, it's a 4-ounce place.
Good luck cooking that ram.
It's a postage stamp.
Oh well. So, Rob is beating us all.
You haven't got, you're not blanking, are you?
Now, so I've got 3 rods out. I've had 2 rods out to start with and now 3. And I've not had a bite in how many hours? What's the time now? Nearly 1 o'clock. 5 hours. So today, 3rd time lucky. This is the 3rd weekend and I hope I catch fish. We're at Pevensey, tide's coming in, high tide's at 2. We're going to fish till 4. A few of us down here. Change of tactics. I'm going to go for a 1 up, 1 down. 120 gram weight or thereabouts. Size 2 hooks offset. Half a rag there, half a rag there. Tipped off with squid. Black lug, squid, black lug, squid. Fishing onto sand, so once the tide turns we can cast easily out onto the sand. There's a gully in front of me. That is what I'm hoping for, that some fish come in and move around in that gully. No wind, or hardly any wind, and overcast, no snags. So I really, really hope I catch a fish. Fingers crossed, because everyone out there keeps sending me messages. Have I died? Well, no, I'm still alive. Now, I'm going to have a go at a semi-pendulum or a partial pendulum or whatever. Now, I've never ever done this, ever. Half a rod length-ish. That'll do. Rod high. Bloody hell. Oh, whoa. And that was no effort at all. I think I'm missing a trick here, I think. And that wasn't really a proper pendulum, was it? But that's got me out further than I would normally get with my rods. So rod up. Bloody hell. I can't believe that. Right. I think I'm going to do that from now onwards. That's extraordinary. This, look, says it all about my fishing ability, because this gentleman has just got that. How cool is that? Right, we'll get that back in, chap. Well, we've been fishing now for several hours, and you know that where you get to that, you're all enthusiastic, then you get demoralised. I'm reaching that point. They keep telling me, well, there's another 2 hours to the top of the tide, it could all change, and then top of the tide, and then fish the bit of the tide back out again. But nothing, except that one little bass for Carl earlier on, when the tide was quite a way out. I just want to give a bit of a shout out to a new chap I fell across on YouTube who's called Fishing to Bait. And he's a young chap. He's only just started out on the YouTube journey. It's quite amusing to watch him, I have to say. He's got a fascination with getting a full English before he goes fishing. But he's really enthusiastic, and if you've got a quiet moment and you want something a little different, have a check out on his channel. And I wish him well. Kind of reminds me when I started this several years ago, you kind of learn as you go along, you change stuff as you go along, you learn new and more stuff. One thing I need to learn is how to cast a proper pendulum style cast. And the ones I've been doing are nowhere close. But at least it's a start. I'm going to practice at a field near where I live and try and get it so I'm doing it consistently. But I think I also might need somebody to show me how to do it properly and where to stand and where to put the rod, because it's the dipping of the rod which gets the weight going. Well, I haven't really figured that out yet. So the weight starts to go out on the arc and then comes back behind you, and then you push into the cast. But I've always been doing the other, where I lay it on the beach and then bosh it out that way, and I've done that consistently, and trying to change that in your head takes some doing, but I'm going to have a go. So that's my mission, to see if I can get the baits a bit further than this lot, and maybe that will give me a bit of an edge. But at the moment, I don't know what's going on. I wandered up to the car an hour or so ago, and as I'm getting some bits out of the car, a lady comes up to me and goes, "So I know you." I went, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, my husband follows you." Well, that's really nice. She said, "Would you come and say hello to him?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'd be delighted to." Anyway, he was sitting in the car. And before we got to the car, she said he used to be a fisherman up to 7 months ago, had a stroke, suffers dreadfully now from sort of fear of going out and anxiety. And quite a few of us, I'm sure, suffer from anxiety in the world that we live in now. And it humbled me, and it made me and reminded me how fortunate and lucky I am to come down here, even when I'm having a grumble and moaning about stupid stuff in life to myself. It sort of was a bit of a leveller, and really nice chap, I have to say. I went and said howdy hi to him. He is recovering, and his name was Peter. So Peter, if you're watching this, fellow, this one's for you. And wouldn't it be lovely to for you to get better and be able to come down the beach again? And I really hope that that comes to pass for you, chap. Now, it was meant to be third time lucky, but not to be. Lucky for Carl, he had one fish first thing this morning. Rob, no bites, nothing. Andy, no bites, nothing. Me, no bites, nothing. There won't be a fourth part. I'm going to finish the film here today, and then I'm out again next weekend. So apologies for not bringing any fish to the camera, but as we all know, that is the contrariness and frustration of fishing. And looking at all the conditions today, I thought I was in with a chance, but not to be. But there's always next time. So to all of you out there, really, really, really thanks for all the nice comments, the support, the asking where have I been over the last several weeks. It does warm my heart, and I'll see you on the next one. So look after yourselves.